our little end of the season, end of the summer vacation. Mike Will, Tyson Urbanic, and Tim Jones all back together again as we get ready to go here on Huddle Up Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. Again, a lot to talk about. We've missed a lot during the past couple of days while we were off and about. We'll catch you up on all the details today. The Nebraska women's flag football team is getting ready to play their inaugural competitive season now in the spring of 2027. That's a year earlier than originally thought of, as Nebraska has put their pieces together and they're ready to play Nebraska women's flag football in the spring of 2027. Former Husker golfer and Gibbons standout Josh Reinerson has joined the Nebraska men's and women's golf program as the director of operations. The Nebraska volleyball team getting ready to open up the season with a match against Florida on Thursday in the Spikes Under the Lights volleyball showcase down at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Hastings College women's soccer team is going to be in action against Benedictine on Wednesday. That's going to be their home opener for the 2026-2027 season. Men's soccer team will be off until September 2nd. They dropped their season opener to Missouri Valley over the weekend. Hastings College volleyball team is going to be in action this weekend. The preseason polls are out for cross country in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, the Nebraska Kearney volleyball team has been picked to finish in a tie for first place in the MIAA this year. Their preseason poll had some high school softball played yesterday, as both Adams Central and Hastings High will be on the field today. So a lot to catch up on as we get you up and get you rolling here for this Thursday morning as we welcome in Tyson Urbanic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
No more polls, no more pundits, no more predictions, no more nothing. Mike, we got college football this week. It's starting. It's happening. Week
Football.
0 is here.
We have the season opener.
Week 0 is here. Saturday morning, North Carolina TCU, USC, San Jose State, NC State, Virginia, North Dakota State playing their inaugural game in the FBS against Jacksonville State, Eastern Michigan, Sacramento State, another team playing their inaugural game in FBS. Florida State, New Mexico State, Hawaii, Stanford, Memphis, UNLV. There's football.
All that is on the opening week 0.
Week 0.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Breath of fresh air, right?
We're back together again. How was your weekend? Did I miss anything? I was kind of keep tabs on what was going on back here, but it was on my high priority list.
We had a big-ass barbecue fest downtown Hastings.
Yeah.
That was fun. I got into a food coma. Beer and barbecue and good times. That makes for a happy Tyson. So we were happy this weekend. Other than that, Cardinals bullpen continued to blow leads left and right to Philadelphia. Philadelphia finally lost, I think, last night to get their losing streak snapped.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, Tim.
Yeah.
Up here.
So, other than that, you didn't miss too much. It rained a shit ton.
Again?
Oh, it's been pouring, like, every night.
Jeez.
Waking up to just rain showers. And, like, it's not just, like, this light mist rain shower that, is enough so you don't have to water your lawn. It's just a freaking downpour that turns your streets into currents. Sunday was brutal to start off the day. The Melon Roasters car show was happening at Brickyard Park. They got off to a soggy start.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
So, how was it in the desert?
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot.
You went in the summer.
Well, yeah.
You go to Vegas in the wintertime.
I realize that. It was like 110. It was like 110 every day we were there.
Ew.
And you wake up, and the temperature is already like 90 degrees out.
Nope, no, thank you.
I didn't mind it. My wife started to whine about the hot weather, about the third day we were there, the fourth day we were there.
And you're like, honey, the beer's cold.
And she says, then she pulled up the Hastings current temperature. It was like 30 degrees difference. I said, you always do that the other way when it's winter, and you always pull up the Las Vegas current weather conditions, and it's like 50 degrees warmer.
Oh, more than that.
So it was great. I got in and talked with the boys. This is kind of a partial business / pleasure trip. So I got in to meet with the Vision boys. That's the network that we have when we don't have live sports on or the Huddle Up. And I got in to see them, and we got into a discussion about football. And I know my camera's not working. It's obviously
not working.
It's not back from vacation. I don't know why.
Why isn't your camera working?
It was on. It was on, and then
now
it was
it's off.
So let me restart that again.
Yeah.
I'll restart it here again.
So you had a trip with the VSiN boys.
Yeah, I had a little discussion with them. Got a little tour of their facilities. Their office, their studios are in the Circa downtown, overlooking probably the best sports bar / venue I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 3-story sports bar with TVs bigger than I don't know what. But what a great setting that they've got for their studios there in Vegas. So I got to take a tour of that and talk with the guys about football. They were anxious for football coming up. We got into a discussion about Nebraska. They promised to give us some love early in the season.
Wow.
Yeah, I said I thought that we would go 5-0, and I mentioned that you and I do a show from 7 until 8
Did you give him
o'clock.
my business card? Is like as hot as I was last year to start off the season? Did you be like, you got to call my buddy?
They're going to join us. They're going to join us occasionally on this show.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. And anyway, we got into a discussion about Nebraska football. I said, give us some love early in the year because you won't be talking about us late in the year.
Yep.
I said, I can see us going 5-0 right off the bat.
And then losing the next 7.
Yeah, then losing out for the rest of the year. Maybe a win down the stretch. Hey, I was telling them 6-6. After I told them that we would be 5-0, they kind of looked at me funny, like, what? I said, have you seen our schedule?
I'm looking at you funny when you say we're going to go 5-0.
I said, have you seen our schedule? So they're going to talk about Nebraska when they have their segments there from.
We're a tough team to bet. That is a tough futures line. That is 5.5. We could be on either side of that number.
And that's what it is. I checked it out.
Yeah,
when I was there.
it's 5.5, and it's 5.5 for a good reason. And I know that's actually like a hook, for the Nebraska faithful out there. You throw 5.5, and you get the Husker fans there. Oh, surely we're gonna win 6. We're gonna go bowling. I was listening to these stupid pundits, man, dude. Like everyone's got a Husker show, and if you have a streaming camera and a bathroom, you can have a Husker show. And everyone's got their own Husker show. And I was just happened to stumble upon these two yahoos that were chatting it up. God, this was like Friday afternoon. One of this drunk Kool-Aid Husker fans was talking about 9 wins, and I'm just like, hold your
9 wins.
9 wins. Hold your freaking horses.
Where do they come up with that?
Oh, they just, Indiana's going to be down this year. I think we got a shot, and we got Washington with the blackout game, so Memorial Stadium's going to be hopping. And they are so drunk. They are so drunk on Roulade, like you wouldn't believe it. So, yeah, they were throwing around 9 wins, and I was just laughing my ass off. I don't see 5. I see 5 as like the peak. Bowl game would be. I'd be ecstatic if this team can make a bowl game this year.
Wow.
So that 5.5 line, I think, is.
I thought it would come
perfect.
back. I thought it would come back, and you would sit in your easy chair all weekend, having a couple of days off, and drink the Roulade, and you would come back with the enthusiasm that I expected out of you as we reach the stretch run of a preseason camp and getting ready for the season opener. Now you're telling me that 5 is going to be the peak?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to stay on this hill. I had thought, like, as we get closer to kickoff, that Kool-Aid is going to slowly start to enter my veins, just like it does every other Husker fan in the state, and we'd become all of a sudden super excited and go to the top of the expectation ladder, only to get hurt again and get gut punched and have your heart ripped out, just like this team has done to me for the last 20 years. And like all of a sudden, I turned 40 this year. I don't know if 40 is like the age of reason, but like just this dose of logic hit me, and yeah, I don't see it.
IT guy has already chimed in on our social media site.
He's said 6-6. He's been putting 6-6 since we started this conversation.
Well, every time we talk about Nebraska football, he puts 6-6 on, and that's basically where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at maybe 6-6.
Chief Indorf says you need to buy a new camera with all the money you won in Vegas.
I did have some success in Vegas. I can't complain.
I saw you had some cash in your hand.
There's a story behind that.
Uh-oh.
Let's
get into it. Let's dive in. We got time.
Well, I can tell you, the IT guy actually sent me $100
Ooh.
to play in the high stakes game, the slot machine in the high stakes room.
Yeah, the progressive.
Yeah. So he sent me $100. So I took his $100 and he told me to go play this machine that had 9 lines to it. So you were betting $9 every time you hit the button.
Yep.
Well, the third time I hit the button, I hit the jackpot. So yeah, I actually won the money for the IT guy, and hopefully he'll invest in a new camera for me because it's not working today for some reason.
It's actually not your money.
It was not my money.
Oh
No, it wasn't my.
Oh no!
So yeah, it was. We hit the jackpot, and it was his money that I hit on the third spin.
Oh, beautiful.
But I did have some success after that.
Well, good.
I wasn't going to be one of those guys that hopped on Facebook every time I won money and to show you how much money I won because I don't hop on when I lose money. I know a guy like that every time he goes to Vegas and wins, he puts a picture up of how much money he won.
How much money did you spend to get that winning, though?
And how many times did you lose?
Yep.
Because it's a guy that goes to Vegas quite often, and I haven't seen him on Facebook lately. So I don't know if he's not winning or he doesn't go to Vegas anymore, one of the two. But, God, I love that town. I love that town.
I saw you hit the yellow brick road.
Yeah. My wife drugged me to the Wizard of Oz, and I was not really excited about going, and then once I got there, that is the most amazing building ever.
I was going to say, how could you not be excited to go to Oz?
God,
that's like every childhood's dream.
I know, but I've seen the movie. It's been around forever. I'm a grown adult. Why should I be going to the Wizard of Oz? But then after I went to the Sphere, it was great. What a great facility that is.
Right?
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Did you imagine watching college football in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
It's a wonder they don't do that.
I think they do.
Do they?
Yeah, they have, like, the major events.
They put at the Sphere.
Mm-hmm. And you're like in the stadium.
Yeah, I can just imagine.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, the Backstreet Boys are out there on Saturday night.
Everybody.
I didn't go to that, but he had a lot of
wow
little kids running around.
Dude, comment section is hopping.
Well, that's because we've been off for a while.
Exciting. My Aunt Laura wants to know if you gambled. Yeah.
I gamble.
We were very pro gambling on this show, Aunt Laura.
Yeah, I gamble a lot.
Jimmy says, sounds like an employee trip to Vegas is in line.
Yeah, we could hold our meetings out there, maybe.
Tyson needs his blood pressure medicine again.
I just wish my damn camera would work. What's the problem with this thing? It was working when I left. No one has been in my office since I left on what day was that, Wednesday of last week?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's plugged in.
It got lonely.
Nobody's been in here. Nobody's tripped over a cord.
Is the flapper open?
My flapper is open.
Okay, good. That's step one.
Yeah, you always got to have your flapper open. My flapper is open. And I've restarted it several times. When I initially came on, it worked. So I don't know what the hell is wrong with it.
Yeah. So Mike's in the dark.
I better save some money.
We got to get like the graphic.
Yeah, I don't
put
know.
your like caricature up there.
I don't know what the yeah, IT guy. Maybe he's not in his office yet. Maybe he's not in his office. So anyway, welcome back to Huddle Up Extreme Sports. We're on a Tuesday now, the 25th day of August for 2026. Although I enjoyed my time off, it is good to be back. When you leave for a while, it's nice to get away. But then when you get back home, it's nice to get back into the routine of things. Wow. So anyway, we're back at it. We've got high school football coming up starting on Friday night here on Extreme Sports. I'll let you know about the broadcast plans sometime today. And then hopefully we'll get Bob Jensen from Nebraska Land Husker Prep on the show tomorrow to give us a preview of high school football. We've been missing each other, and we've had conflicts in the past couple of weeks, so maybe tomorrow we can get to Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep on to talk some high school football on the show. So that's coming up for you. And again, high school football begins on Friday, and then the Hastings College football will begin on September 5th, and we'll open up the season at Dortz on September 5th. So our second longest road trip, we get out of the gates right early. We go to Sioux Center, Iowa. Hastings and Dordt for the 2026 season opener. That game will kick off at 1. Pregame show will be at 12 o'clock noon on your exclusive home for Broncos sports again for the 2026-2027 Extreme Sports. Baseball, you mentioned it right off of the bat. The Seattle Mariners stopped the Philadelphia Phillies' season-best winning streak at 9 games last night with a 9-2 win. Cal Raleigh busted out of his season-long slump with a 3-home-run performance in the ball game last night. So Seattle beats Philadelphia 9-2. Raleigh, who finished 3 for 3 with a walk, he raised his batting average from 159 to 167. After his performance last night, he began the night with a strikeout rate of 31.2%. This is for a guy who finished runner-up for the American League Most Valuable Player Award last year when he led the majors with 60 home runs and 125 RBIs. As we mentioned, he's been in a season-long slump, but he knocks 3 balls out of the ballpark last night as Seattle beat the Philadelphia Phillies by the score of 9-2.
Yeah, arguably should have won the AL MVP last year with, and had the Mariners may have been just a little bit better in the standings, probably would have won the American League MVP. Wild how quickly his career took a turn and how the baseball gods can turn on you and not in your favor with the season he's having. But let's be realistic here. If he can get hot and the Mariners can get some pitching, they're 6 games out. It's mid-August. They'd have to go on an unbelievable heater. However, the American League West is not overly strong. The wild card spots are relatively within reach. I still say Seattle can't make the playoffs, but it is nice to see, after a long season of frustration at the plate for the big dumper, that he was able to knock 3 out of the yard last night. But it's, long way to go with all the strikeouts and miserable season he's having to really have that turnaround. 167, that's all he improved to, huh?
Yeah, 167 after going 3 for 3 with a walk. So in the Major League Baseball standings right now, in the American League Eastern Division, Tampa Bay is leading 3.5 games over the New York Yankees. In the Central, the Chicago White Sox continue to lead, 2.5 over Cleveland. In the West, it's Texas with a half a game lead over Houston. Then over in the National League standings right now, starting the day, in the East, Atlanta has a 3.5 game lead over Philadelphia. In the Central, Milwaukee leading by 5.5 over Chicago. And in the West, the Dodgers have got a 9.5 game lead now over San Diego. So,
speaking of too little, too late, Cal Raleigh probably too little, too late to salvage the season for the Mariners. Although they are just 3 back in the wild card spot, so don't hold your breath just yet. What about Kansas City? They're on a heater. They've won 8 games in a row.
Very quietly, 8 games in a row because they're so damn far behind.
8 games in a row to improve to like 20 games below 500.
Yeah, they might have won 8 games in a row, but nobody's talking about it.
Well, we're talking about it.
We are. Damn little we're talking about, only that they've won 8 games in a row.
That's impressive.
In the majors last night, the Cubbies winning over Arizona 7-0, and Washington knocked off Colorado 13-3. So, a couple of games played last night. One other thing that came out while I was gone, the Cleveland Browns have named Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback. The Browns are going to face Jacksonville on the road in week number 1, but Deshaun Watson has been named the starting quarterback for Cleveland. He wins the competition with a second-year player, Shedeur Sanders. Actually began in the offseason workout program and stretched into the first 2 preseason games. The decision comes despite Watson's struggles in the second preseason game on Saturday, during which he completed 5 of 12 passes for 35 yards and an interception over 4 second-half drives. That evidently was good enough to name Deshaun Watson the starting quarterback over Shedeur Sanders to start the season. Watson has a 9-10 record as a Browns starting quarterback, and his past 2 seasons as a starter have ended due to injury. So we'll see how long Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback at Cleveland. I assume Shedeur Sanders is going to be listed as the number 2 quarterback there at Cleveland. We'll see if Watson, number 1, can get through a year without getting injured.
We got to make a pact.
We'll see how well he's going to do because he has not been a real factor there for Cleveland. In fact, of the 50 quarterbacks with at least 15 starts since Deshaun Watson joined the Browns in 2022, only Will Levis has a lower quarterback rating than Deshaun Watson.
Okay, now let's take a deep breath, consume all that information. That's a lot of stats, and numbers, and things you threw. It's a quarterback in Cleveland. It's Fugazi. It doesn't exist. Can we make a pact? I don't know at what point last year, all of a sudden, like, there was just this obsession that started with the Cleveland quarterback room and Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. It's the Cleveland quarterback room. It's awful, and it's been awful, and it's never going to get better. There is a jersey that has the list of names of every single quarterback that's gone through Cleveland on the back, and he actually it no longer fits. He's had to extend it and add additional fabric to his jersey. It's basically a dress now. I don't know. Like, I see Cleveland quarterback news, and I move on to the next story. Because I'm like, oh, that's Cleveland quarterback news. Okay, that's cute. That's funny. Like, that's not a major headline. Cleveland's announcing their starting quarterback is like a tree falls in the forest. If nobody's around, does it make a sound?
Wow.
Well, it is. And it's like somehow the news headlines get fixated on it, and it becomes an obsession, and it's weird. It's a weird obsession with the Cleveland Browns that are always a bad football team and are never going to get better.
You don't care who's pulling the trigger at Cleveland.
That moves my meter of football excitement to, like, 0.
Well, I come up with all these stats, and now you don't even care about the story.
Well, it's also...
It's Cleveland, I know.
Yeah, it's not going to be relevant to my fantasy football team.
You're not going to draft Deshaun Watson
I
even
didn't.
as like your third quarterback?
Also, on the note of the draft, I had my first fantasy football draft over the weekend.
You did? How'd you do?
I think I did great. We are a little light on receiver. However, I will tell you this. And oh boy, the commission knows it's coming, and he's just going to brace for impact, and then he's probably going to defend himself in the comments already. We have 10-team league. 10-team league.
Yeah.
Okay? Standard draft.
Oh, let me tell you.
Rosters are the same.
Probably got it done in an hour.
1 hour. 1 hour.
Well, you don't have the people
1 hour.
in that league as you do in our league.
1 hour. That is how you draft.
No. What you need to do then, and I thought about this the last time you brought it up, you draft your first couple of guys. Go ahead and do it, and then get out of the draft and just put it on auto draft.
No.
That's what you. If you want to bitch about how long our league takes, which
It's
is
such a long draft,
which
and
is
it's
only
so needless.
like 2 hours. If you're going to do that, go ahead and take your first round selections, and then just put your draft on auto draft. And who you come up with is who you come up with.
I'm just saying.
And then all you got to do is stay for an hour.
There is so many tools and things at your disposal. Like, you can have your pick ready. You don't have to get to the clock and be like, okay, let's look at my players and see who we're going to make a selection.
Well, you know who's in our league.
Oh, it's...
You know who's in our league. We're going to take the entire 2 minutes.
It's infuriating. And no, that's what I'm saying is take and get rid of the 2-minute clock.
Oh, you want to, like, enter down to
Shorten the clock.
90 seconds, maybe.
If we can settle on 90, I'd be a happy camper.
I don't think I could make a selection in a minute.
A minute would be tough. Ours is 90, and it worked out really well. I'm just saying, we an hour.
I'm still talking about the Cleveland quarterback room.
Anyways, Lamar Jackson.
As I mentioned, of the 50 quarterbacks with at least 15 starts since Deshaun Watson joined the Browns in 2022, only Will Levis has a lower quarterback rating.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And then Deshaun Watson. Also on the list, Cam Ward, Zach Wilson, and Davis Mills.
Sounds like good company.
Yeah, a good company. Oh, now the commissioner says it's not 2 minutes anymore.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
You better read your new updated rules for our fantasy football league. It's not 2 minutes anymore.
Thank
The
God.
commissioner's caving in to your whining.
Thank God.
Let's see what else is going on before we. Well, it's 7:28. We better get to our news break. I was going to mention a couple of more things. In fact, I want to get into a discussion about maybe a new thing that's going to be going on in college athletics. You got that fifth-year deal now where you can play the fifth year, but now you got guys that have turned pro.
Went to the draft, turned pro, got drafted, got cut.
Now they can come back, evidently.
Welcome back.
It's happening in football.
Yep.
With a couple of SEC schools, as you might expect. And it's also happened with basketball. We'll get into that discussion after our news break here this morning. But anyway, it's good to be back. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday, coming up on 7:30 on Huddle Up.
It's time for a morning news break on Extreme Sports.
Well, Nebraska voters will decide this November whether to legalize and regulate online sports betting. 2 statewide ballot measures have qualified for the November election. One proposal would allow online sports wagering through licensed operators and then tax the bets, while the other would establish a regulatory framework and direct some revenue towards property tax relief. Supporters say online betting is already happening illegally, bunny air quotes, and should be regulated and taxed. Opponents have raised concerns about gambling addiction and the impact on Nebraska families. However, we know just from last year that just because you vote on something doesn't necessarily mean the legislature will make it a law. And a story corresponding with that is a ballot initiative that would make it harder for Nebraska lawmakers to change voter-approved laws is facing a legal challenge. Shocker. State Senators Michaela Cavanaugh and Kurt Friesen have filed an objection with the Secretary of State, arguing the proposed constitutional amendment violates Nebraska's single subject requirement for ballot measures. The initiative would increase the legislative vote needed to change voter-approved laws from 2/3 to 4/5. More than 186,000 signatures were submitted in support of the measure, but they have not yet been certified. And current Secretary of State Bob Evnen said he expects to decide whether the measure meets the single subject requirement before the September 11th ballot certification deadline. It is now coming up on 7:32. We'll swing things over to you. Mike Will, what's going on in sports?
Well, sports today brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill. Get back into the game with Bamboo Mind and Body Spa. The Nebraska women's flag football team will play its inaugural competitive season in the spring of 2027. Nebraska announced the addition of flag football as a varsity sport last January, and the program's first season was originally scheduled for the spring of 2028. The 2027 Nebraska flag football roster consists of 16 players, including 11 transfers and 5 freshmen. The roster includes players from 7 different states. The Huskers' 2027 schedule will be announced later this fall. Nebraska will play its home games at Hibner Stadium. Women's flag football was approved by the NCAA as an emerging sport in January. The NCAA is expected to sponsor its first national championship for flag football in 2028. Husker golfer Josh Reinertsen has joined the Nebraska men's and women's golf programs as Director of Operations. Reinertsen earned 4 varsity letters as a member of the Huskers men's golf program from 2012 to 2015. He was the Nebraska Class C state champion as a freshman at Gibbon High School in 2007. The Nebraska volleyball team will play Florida on Thursday in the Spikes Under the Lights Volleyball Showcase at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. First serve will be at 7. Penn State and SMU will play at 8. The 2 winners will play for the championship at 9. The Nebraska women's soccer team will play host to Omaha on Thursday beginning at 7. The Huskers are currently 1-1-2 on the season. Hastings College women's soccer team will play host to Benedictine on Wednesday. Game time will be at 5:30. The Broncos are 1-0 in the season after beating Dakota State 2-0 on Saturday. The men's soccer team will be off now until September 2nd when they play at Kansas Wesleyan. The Broncos open the season on Saturday by losing to Missouri Valley 5-0. Hastings College volleyball team off to a good start. They are 3-1. Hastings will play Eastern New Mexico coming up on Thursday down in Hays, Kansas. And the Hastings College men's cross-country team has been picked to finish 8th this year in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. The women were 7th in the poll. Dordt is picked to win both the men's and women's championships this season. Nebraska Kearney and Washburn are tied for first in the MIAA preseason volleyball poll. Missouri Western is 3rd, followed by Emporia State and Central Oklahoma. High school softball is underway. On the field yesterday, Kearney took 2 from North Platte, 11-4 and 18-5. Grand Island Central Catholic defeated St. Paul 13-2. Today, Adams Central will play at Lexington, and Hastings High will host Gretna East. That's a check on your sports headlines here today. And it's now 7:34 on Huddle Up.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Area storms continue through the morning hours and then clearing off by the late morning to early afternoon time frame. A high of 85 today. Then another chance of severe storms tonight, especially to the west of the Tri-Cities. Large hail, damaging winds, the main threats through the evening and the overnight hours. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the low 80s. Same on Thursday. And then as we head towards the weekend, we'll be in the mid-80s on Friday and the 90s through the weekend.
Right now, as you wake up, get going. We've got cloudy skies. It is 67 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Start your engines, Hastings. It's time for fast, loud Friday nights at Cam Raceway. Cam Raceway is located just east of Hastings on J Street. Catch the adrenaline-pumping action every Friday night through August. Watch stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, cage karts, and more tear up Nebraska's fastest 8-mile dirt track. Gates open at 7. Racing roars to life at 8. Only $10 to get in, and kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult. Cam Raceway, where speed meets dirt and Friday nights come alive. Don't miss it.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care designed for you.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Every football season, there's that one fan, the one who sees the upsets coming, the one who doesn't just cheer, they calculate, they survive. This year, that fan could be you. Introducing Extreme Sports Survivor, the ultimate test of football instinct. Pick one NFL team to win each week. No spreads, no gimmicks, just survive. But there's a twist. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. One wrong call, and it's over. Your name fades, your shot gone. But survive long enough, be the last one standing, and you'll win our grand prize. Not just the glory, not just the bragging rights, something more. Sign up today at x-streamsports.com/survivor. Do you trust your gut? Can you outlast them all? This is more than a game. This is Extreme Sports Survivor.
Mike Wills, Eisner Bronick with you. It's a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. Yeah, get your Survivor registrations in. We're giving away $2,500 grand prize this year if you're the lone survivor. After 20 weeks, entry deadline is going to be September 9th. You can go to our website at x-streamsports.com. Go to the games tab there at the top of the page. Go down to Survivor, and they'll give you details on exactly how to get signed up for Survivor for the 2026 season. Again, if you're the lone survivor, after 20 weeks, you're going to win $2,500 in cash. and we're going to be limiting this to a 250 entries maximum. There's 20 selection periods this year, 18, of course, during the regular season. Then the Thanksgiving week games and the Christmas week games are going to be weeks on their own. So kind of a new twist to Survivor for 2026. But first thing, make sure you get signed up, ready to go. We still got some spots open. You can go to our website at x-streamsports.com and get ready to participate and have fun with the Survivor contest for 2026.
Speaking of football contests.
Well, it got down to tie, and tie a year ago. Tie, and tie are all signed up already for the 2026 season.
Kings back together. Saturday is week 0. There is more than 5 games.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're
hinting
at?
Are we going to go ahead and start it?
There's more than 5 games this week for college football.
I think Friday we're going to hear the sweet sounds we've been waiting to hear.
Is it time to bring back our Blazing 5?
More chili!
Oh, no. So the Blazing 5, we're going to throw that on this week's agenda.
Week 0, Saturday.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games.
There's 8 games, and we got to pick 5 of them?
Got to pick 5.
God. All right, let's go ahead, and we'll put that on the agenda. Blazing 5 makes its debut for 2026.
Let's get started.
Get started early. Anyway, speaking of college football, let's talk some college football. Matt Rule, Husker head coach, named a starting quarterback. Probably, I don't know why people were surprised at this. Anthony Calandria.
Breaking news.
Well, we brought him in from UNLV, gave him the NIL deal that he wanted. Why was this shocking news to anybody that it would be anybody but Anthony Calandria as the starting quarterback for Nebraska?
Yeah, Anthony would play for us right now. All the quarterbacks have done a nice job. Anthony, I think the biggest thing is he's very competitive, very fiery. He expects to win every play, and but he's done a nice job of disciplining himself to also take what's there, and makes nice checks in the run-pass game, can throw the ball deep, and I think the biggest thing is he extends a ton of plays with his legs, which takes a lot of pressure off of the offensive line and the backs in protection and puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
TJ Lateef and Danny Kaelin are expected to be in the mix for the number 2 job. That's not exciting news either. TJ Lateef and Danny Kaelin will battle it out for the number 2 spot. The coach was also asked about his coaching staff. Of course, Nebraska brought in one new coordinator. They've got 6 new assistant coaches for the upcoming season, and Coach Rule was asked how they're getting along.
They've worked really hard, but the true test will be what we do in the games, right? No one. Worst thing is when you hear a coach say, "Hey, we practice really well," and then you get beat, badly. So at the end of the day, this is a production, performance-based business. So they work really hard. They are extremely detailed, trying to learn a new way of doing things. Because every team is new, every season is new, and certainly every head coach you work for and every university you're at's new. So I've been very pleased with them. Been very pleased with the staff. But to me, it's how you handle the season, how you handle game planning, how you handle the rigors of being here, the travel, the weather, all those things, like who could be the same guy every day. And so far so good, but, a lot remains to be seen.
Next up, we expect to hear who the captains are going to be for this year's team. And Matt says it's kind of different here in the transfer portal. Normally you would take a guy who's been around for 4 or 5 years to be one of your captains of the team. But he says that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, I've never had a captain until last year. That group of kids came to me and said they wanted a captain. So we always had kind of game captains, and at the end of the year picked our season-long captains because it's easy to be a great leader when things are convenient. It's hard to stand up here and answer the tough questions when things aren't going well, whether that's the players coming here to talk or talking in front of their team. So I've always felt like the season gives you an opportunity to display leadership, in the good times and bad. So, I don't care who that is. I don't care if that's a freshman. I don't care if, I had a kid, Sean Chandler, way back when, who had a nice NFL career, who got a single digit as a freshman. He just worked so hard. So it'll be interesting whether we vote for captains now or not, or wait till the fall, or wait till the end of the season. We'll see. We'll certainly do the single digits. And, it's one of those things I let the players decide. They have to decide their leadership, and they have to have they can either make it a popularity contest, or they can make it hey, who's really about it. And so I hope they make good decisions, whether it's captains or not, or leadership council. Like, we vote on all those things. We pick the Unity leadership councils throughout the course of the spring and summer to get different guys exposure. But once again in the season, they have to pick it, who's representing their position. And so they have to pick wisely. And, we're hoping we're entering a phase with this team and this program where it's not, whose feelings are going to get in the way, but it's really just, what's the right thing for the team.
All right, we're going to focus on the defense. And Matt Rule says that he expects to see maybe 15 to 18 guys. He could see some playing time on the defensive side of the ball.
I don't think we'd put our entire two deep in the middle of a game at once. I just don't know that we're there yet. We still have time. I think, as a coach, one thing I've learned is you play those first couple games, you really start to see who really. It's one thing to do it when there's no one out there watching. It's another thing to do it when there's 90,000 people watching, and who loves those moments and who shies away from those moments. But I've been pleased with the depth. But I think we've done studies, in this era of college football, most great defenses are playing, 18 guys, 17 guys. And so I feel like we have guys that can play probably in that 17, 18, 19 range, I think.
And the coach says right now their goal and what they're focusing on is putting pressure on the quarterback. What a pleasant surprise. They're focusing on putting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously want sacks, right? But the true measure is how many times you pressure a quarterback and get him off his rhythm and off his spot. So, we talk about the paint. That's the area. If you think about a basketball, a guy taking a charge, they have that little painted area. Like, we want to get, if the quarterback's the rim, we want to get in that area directly in front of him. We want to affect what happens to him. On offense last year, we definitely took too many sacks, and it wasn't always just one guy came off the edge and sacked. And a lot of times it was that guy getting the quarterback off a spot, and another guy with great effort showing up. So we want to disrupt the quarterback, disrupt his timing. We talk about protecting and affecting the quarterback. So when we protect the quarterback, it's not giving up sacks; it's giving him a clean pocket to throw from, not letting him see color in his face. And then on defense, it's the inverse, right? We want to affect the quarterback, move him off the spot, give him things to see. And so collapsing the pocket and pushing the pocket, especially when they're facing Anthony and TJ every day. I mean, those guys get out, and it could be an explosive play. So in practice, we want to rush in a competitive speed while at the same time staying away from the quarterback, and specifically, in front of him, because that's where the quarterback comes down, breaks his hands. So we try very hard. We show him hard knocks. We show him everything. Like, this is how you practice like a pro. But we want to set great angles that we are collapsing the pocket and having the quarterback be under duress. So we definitely want sacks, but that's not the measure of what we're doing. It's really pressures and getting him off the spot and disrupting timing that truly affects the game.
All right, there he is, Matt Rule, head football coach for Nebraska. Take that mug. Let's lift her up. We're focused on pressuring the quarterback this year on defense, collapsing the pocket, getting in their face.
It sounds like it's like a revolutionary defensive mindset, doesn't it?
Let's take one more gulp. Let's
shit.
do it. Let's take a gulp of that Roulade. We're going to pressure the quarterback for 2026 on defense.
Speaking of gulps, you taking a gulp of team more hops than horsepower this week? Did you see the top 5?
In our NASCAR fantasy?
For the first time ever.
You're in the
more
top
hops
5?
than horsepower, rolling in second place for the week.
Are you kidding me? I
honestly forgot I set my lineup.
I set my lineup.
I had Blaney. I had Barry.
Oh, two good choices.
Yeah.
So you finished second behind the IT guy.
Is that who that team is?
Yeah, IT guy won.
That's a good team name.
But all right, congratulations!
Thank you
on your
very
fine
much. Yeah,
performance over the weekend.
Biggest bounce back.
Yeah, it took me getting out of town for you to come.
A
up with
109 point week to week difference. It's like the temperature in Vegas when it's 0 in Nebraska.
God, it was.
I'll have to do that every week. Just set my lineup Monday and forget about it.
Well, you still have a chance because I think it's after next week we go into the
new segment,
the new championship segment. Ooh. Then we start all over in the championship segment.
So we're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, you might have a chance to roll.
Let's go.
7:51, waking up with Mike and Tyson as we get back at it get back to things after a few days off. How's the first week of school treating you? I took off and you still had to work.
Right? It was good. There's a few minor tweaks and things that you need to... you turn a computer on for the first time in 3 months. There's going to be updates and things that are different and don't work like it used to.
Well, look at me. I turn on my computer for the first time in 4 days. My camera doesn't work. I've had absolutely no problems with my camera since they installed this thing. And now I go on a 4-day, 5-day break, and I turn on my computer for the first time. Mm-hmm. And hell, now my camera doesn't work.
It's that, didn't answer the morning bell.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to go out and buy one. IT guy might have to give the company a loan after all the money he won. Yeah, I put in the $100 into the slot machine, and he picks up all the cash.
Spat out a jackpot.
Yeah, I brought that home in a big old duffel bag. He might have to get into it and buy us a new camera. I don't know what happened to mine.
Yeah.
So anyway, 7:52, waking up with Mike and Tyson. It's a Tuesday morning here on Extreme Sports.
Area storms.
Whoops.
It's time for a morning news break on Extreme Sports.
In election news, Nebraska voters will get to decide this November whether to legalize and regulate online sports betting. 2 statewide ballot measures have qualified for the November election. One proposal would allow online sports wagering through licensed operators and tax the bets, while the other would establish a regulatory framework and direct some revenue towards property tax relief. Supporters say online betting is already happening illegally and should be regulated and taxed. Opponents have raised concerns about gambling addiction and the impact on Nebraska families. However, we know that just from the last election cycle, that just because you vote on something and it gets approved doesn't mean the legislature is actually going to make it a law. Funny loophole, right? A ballot initiative that would make it harder for Nebraska lawmakers to change voter-approved laws is facing a legal challenge. State Senators Michaela Cavanaugh and Kurt Friesen filed an objection with the Secretary of State, arguing the proposed constitutional amendment violates Nebraska's single subject requirement for ballot measures. The initiative would increase the legislative vote needed to change voter-approved laws from 2/3 to 4/5. More than 186,000 signatures were submitted in support of the measure, but they have not yet been certified. Secretary of State Bob Evnen said he expects to decide whether the measure meets the single subject requirement before the September 11th ballot certification deadline. It is now coming up on 7:55. We'll head back over to the east side. Mike Will, what's going on in sports?
Well, sports today brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill, where wellness meets recovery. The Nebraska women's flag football team will play its inaugural competitive season in the spring of 2027. Nebraska announced the addition of flag football as a varsity sport last January, and the program's first season was originally scheduled for the spring of 2028. The 2027 Nebraska flag football roster consists of 16 players, including 11 transfers and 5 freshmen. The roster includes players from 7 states. The 2027 schedule will be announced later this fall. Former Husker golfer Josh Reinertsen has joined the Nebraska men's and women's golf programs as the Director of Operations. He earned 4 varsity letters as a member of the Husker men's golf program from 2012 to 2015. He was the Nebraska Class C state champion as a freshman at Gibbon High School in 2007. The Nebraska volleyball team will play Florida on Thursday in the Spikes Under the Lights Volleyball Showcase at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. First serve will be at 7. Penn State and SMU will play at 8. 2 winners will play for the championship at 9. The Nebraska women's soccer team will play host to Omaha on Thursday beginning at 7. Huskers are currently 1-2 on the season. Hastings College women's soccer team will play host to Benedictine on Wednesday. Game time will be at 5:30. Hastings College volleyball team is currently 3-1, and the Broncos will play Eastern New Mexico on Thursday in Hays, Kansas. Hastings College men's cross-country team has been picked to finish 8th this year in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. The women were 7th in the preseason poll. Dordt is picked to win both the men's and women's championships this season. Nebraska Kearney and Washburn are tied for first in the MIAA preseason volleyball poll. Missouri Western is 3rd, followed by Emporia State and Central Oklahoma. High school softball from yesterday. Kearney took 2 from North Platte, 11-4 and 18-5. Grand Island Central Catholic defeated St. Paul 13-2. Today, Adams Central will play at Lexington, and Hastings High will host Gretna East. That's a check into sports headlines at 7:57 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Area storms continue through the morning hours and then clearing off by the late morning to early afternoon time frame. A high of 85 today. Then another chance of severe storms tonight, especially to the west of the Tri-Cities. Large hail, damaging winds, the main threats through the evening and the overnight hours. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the low 80s. Same on Thursday. And then as we head towards the weekend, we'll be in the mid-80s on Friday and the 90s through the weekend.
Right now we've got cloudy skies. It is 67 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Every football season, there's that one fan, the one who sees the upsets coming, the one who doesn't just cheer, they calculate, they survive. This year, that fan could be you. Introducing Extreme Sports Survivor, the ultimate test of football instinct. Pick one NFL team to win each week. No spreads, no gimmicks, just survive. But there's a twist. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. One wrong call, and it's over. Your name fades, your shot gone. But survive long enough Be the last one standing, and you'll win our grand prize. Not just the glory, not just the bragging rights, something more. Sign up today at x-streamsports.com/survivor. Do you trust your gut? Can you outlast them all? This is more than a game. This is Extreme Sports Survivor.
Again, get those Survivor registrations in. The deadline is September 9th. Survivor for 2026. If you're the lone survivor after the 20 weeks, you receive a check of $2,500. We can probably make it cash. We can probably just give you the cash. But regardless, we'll give you $2,500 at the end of the contest. But get signed up. We're only taking the first 250 entries this year. So get signed up for our Survivor contest for 2026. We'll put this on the back burner, maybe talk about it tomorrow. Evidently some guys that have turned pro in college football and in college basketball the past couple of months have now evidently been cut or have been waived off of their pro rosters, and now they want to come back and play in college. So
you can make more money in college than you can going to the CFL, UFL, or arena ball.
Yeah, so they
previously that was your route, right? Like you didn't get the job in the NFL. All right, well, you're going to go down like to the minors and play spring ball, try to make that 54-man roster. But now, with NIL and college sports, why go sack groceries and play for pennies on the dollar in the spring football league that's ultimately going to fail when you can go make millions in college? It makes sense.
Go back to college because remember they were granted that fifth year of eligibility now.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of guys in the SEC
loophole
have started the trend, and you're going to see more and more guys opt that way. And we'll get into a discussion about this coming up tomorrow because there's a lot to address with this concerning that particular topic. Again, we'll have our Blazing Five. You threw it out there, and I took it like a fish. You threw the hook out there, and I took it like a fish. We're going to start the Blazing Five this week because how many games do we have?
We have 8 games.
We've got 8 games, and that's 8, and all we need is 5?
Yep.
So we're going to go with the Blazing Five on Friday.
We have made a Blazing 5 out of 4 games before, so we know we can do it with 8.
Oh, jeez. So it's on our Blazing Five coming up this week as well. So it's good to be back. It certainly is. Kind of missed getting up and doing this show.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. But anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. If you'd like to listen to the show again, listen to the comments we had from Husker head coach Matt Rule, go to our social media sites and download the podcast and listen to the show when you have a chance. We have a chance today. Listen to it a couple of times if you'd like. But anyway, make plans to be back here again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.